everybody for coming out here tonight. I'm very grateful to Carl giving me this opportunity, because when I came here, I was actually trying out for a bartender job. Apparently he thought that was pretty funny. But show business is in my blood. I have my parents, they were both in show business. My dad, Hal Casey, very famous, very gifted fiddle player. And my mom, and my mother, Diana, she was his stunt driver. She got him to all the gigs, we got all the travel around, she got him to all the gigs on time. In fact, sometimes she got us there so fast, we got there a half hour before we left the house. So show business is in my blood, and I had said to my dad one time, I said, Dad, you know, I'd like to be in show business, but I don't have any talent. I don't play an instrument. The only time I carry a tune is when I carry your fiddle for the show, you know? And he looked at me and he said, well, that's okay, Cheryl. You've got talent. You've got a great face for radio. Thanks, Dad. You've got a nose for comedy. And you talk too much. Go help your mother in the kitchen. I'm reading the paper. So yeah, while my mother did most of the driving, there was at least one time I know of when my dad was driving. Because shortly after his demise, we found a tape. We were all riding in the car. It was three of us. 3 kids in the back, Dad driving in the front. And of course, we're getting a little rowdy in the back seat because, you know, you didn't have DVDs on the back seat then. You didn't have games in your hand. You didn't have anything like that to keep you busy. You didn't have bottled water because they didn't want to have to stop for you to go to the bathroom, you know. And my mother would always bring a bag of hard candy just to make sure to keep our mouths shut a little bit, you know. So this one trip, we're driving along, and my dad's driving, and you can hear us in the back seat, and we're freaking going crazy back there, and my dad's telling her, shut him up, Diana. And my mother's like, well, they won't stop, hell, they won't stop. And he said, well, hit him. Because he said, well, I don't know which one to hit. And he said, well, hit all of them, damn it. And me, I was the younger child. I was always sitting in the middle. And my mother, being Italian, she had very short arms, you know, so she's reaching in the back seat. And I always got the worst of it, you know, coming and going. So yeah, that was show business. It was fun. It was a fun life. We had a lot of fun. And my dad, you know, he tried to build my confidence a bit. You know, it was tough for him. He was Irish, raised 2 boys, then me, and Harold, Gerald, and Cheryl. And I said to him one day, I said, Dad, you know, I really want to go into show business. I already told you that one, didn't I? So he did try to build my confidence. He said to me one day, he said, Cheryl, you look like you've lost some weight. I'm like, hey, thanks, Dad. Thanks a lot. And he said, but if you turn around, you'll find it. And to make matters worse, I grew up on a dead-end street. At the end of a dead-end street. Actually, it had a dead end on both ends of the street. And right in the middle, there was 2 families that had blonde girls living there, you know? You know the kind that weigh 115 pounds their whole life? So for a while, I thought maybe that's where Barbies came from. And I spent a lot of time alone on the dead end. So I would read a lot. I would play with Barbies, you know. Most of the blonde ones had the heads missing. And in my Barbie dream house, Ken slept on the couch. I didn't have a vision of a Barbie wedding or anything like that. We played divorce court. And Barbie didn't really mind that Ken slept on the couch. Because we've all seen Ken naked, right? She was okay with that. Because she had a nightstand. A little tiny drawer. And, you know, and back in the day, you know, my father would refer to it as the bazooto ass. You know, it wasn't bootylicious. They didn't have those names for it back then. It was fat ass, lard ass, and bubble butt, you know. So we didn't have those names back then. And I remember when my mother took me to get my first pair of jeans. I was all excited, you know. I was probably middle school, high school, whatever. Everybody had jeans. I want to get a pair of jeans, you know. So she took me for a pair of jeans, and I couldn't get them up. I couldn't get them up. They didn't have booty cut back then. It was called boot cut. They didn't have Levi's for thighs. You know, I could have made some money back then. Because I had these curves when J-Lo was still a musketeer. And yeah, it might surprise you to know that I'm single. And, you know, I thought I would get up here and be able to talk a little bit about my exes. I thought it'd be kind of funny to make fun of my exes. But I can't remember them. You know, for you younger people here, we didn't have memory foam back then. So, with that said, I have one more thing I want to say about butts. Those Charmin commercials. How many of you have seen those Charmin commercials? You know, you got the little bear, and he's looking at his friends, and he says, "Oh, this Charmin works so good, you don't have to change your underwear." Now, come on. I've had to suspend my disbelief since Election Day. So, but telling me that there's a bear out there that uses toilet paper and wears underwear, that's a little too much, you know? And everybody knows that question, does a bear? What? So now I guess the new question is, boxers or briefs? You know, and I love to hike. I love to hike. At least, like, I take a good hike once every 3 years. I'm a hiker. And I'm the type, you know, I'll pick litter up. When I'm out there, I see litter. I like to take care of Mother Earth. And I'll pick it up as I'm walking along in the woods. But I'm usually looking up and looking down, and I'm thinking, what fucking forest do they live in? You know, you're gonna find... Because I'd like to go picking mushrooms there. But, you know, I don't want to be walking along in the woods, and looking up, looking down, looking around. And the next thing you know, you're like, what the hell did I just step in? Is that underwear? That looks like bear underwear. He didn't use Charmin. Well, thank you all. That's it for me for now. It's my first time.